Thanks for checking out my video. If you want to learn more from me, I have a lot of classes on Udemy. You can find the links to a lot of those in the description. Hello, I'm Reverend Dr. Nick G, and welcome to Magickology. If you are new to this channel, I got tons of magical knowledge, spiritual wisdom, and how-tos and different ways for you to expand your spirituality, your magical practice, and get in touch with more than this physical reality. So, the biggest thing that I wanted to talk about in this one, which randomly hit me about 30 seconds ago, is the idea that practicing magic isn't just about what you do at your altar. And I'm probably going to be saying that for a ton of different videos. But magic isn't just a kind of whack-a-mole thing where I have a problem, I go and do a ritual, and then it's going to get solved. There's always acting in accord and doing things in the mundane world that match your spiritual intentions. So we follow the axiom of as above, so below, as within, so without, in order to actually make change happen. And to that point, we want to think about the difficulties that we have that are going on in our existence. Now, if we follow manifestation and manifestation principles, law of attraction, and energetics, things like that, our bodies are energy. Literally everything around us is energy, and we are at a certain, and I hate this hippie term, frequency, where we are manifesting the things that are around us all the time. If we want to change something, we have the faculties to do it. You can go through a bunch of different things, so I'm just going to go through a couple of examples. I, at one point, was an alcoholic. I kept manifesting that by refusing to change my behavior until I chose to change it. And thankfully, I've been sober. It's going to be 8 years in a couple of months. So go me. So think about any difficulties that you currently have with anything. Could be substances, could be emotional difficulties, could be difficulties in your personal life. Those are things that your energetics, your subconscious, even your conscious mind is comfortable with, because trying new things it gives us anxiety. From a psychology standpoint, the brain doesn't want to work any harder than it has to because it's all constantly trying to conserve energy and work more efficiently. So change and learning is difficult for it. It requires more energy. So it would much rather have you do the same thing over and over because it's something that is familiar. The brain is a pattern machine. It likes patterns, therefore it learns something and it continues to do that thing. That's why learning something new is hard. And it takes extra energy to change those kinds of things. So writing down a plan of attack, for lack of a better term, when it comes to fixing different things that you are dealing with, gives you a roadmap of what you can do. But the biggest thing is the lessons that we get from our difficulties. What things are you going through right now that are trying to teach you something? What things are happening in your life that are asking you to change, that are asking you to up level, that are asking you to increase your capacity to deal with something or to throw something away, to banish something, to get rid of something? If there's something in your life you don't like, what can you do about it in order to eliminate it? If you are seeking more in your life, whether it's more fun time, more relaxation, more income, more sleep, what kinds of things are you doing right now that are preventing that from happening? The universe will always respond with what you give it. But also, the universe is it's always in a state of the law of entropy, right? From order to disorder. So, change is a constant thing. The universe is constantly asking you to change. You can choose to stay where you are, and arguably things will just stay there. And emotionally, you're going to get more drained about it, or things are going to get worse. If you never vacuum your carpet, it's going to continue to look worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. If you don't continue to take care of your health is going to get worse and worse and worse. Same thing with your mental state, your relationships, things like that. Your financial situation, if it is difficult, the universe is trying to give you a lesson of, you don't like this thing, change it. What can you do to change it? Can you increase what your knowledge base is in your field? Can you challenge yourself to work more so you can get a promotion? Can you up level your skills in some way and rearrange your schedule to maybe go back to school or learn some more things or what have you in order to up level? The universe is always asking us to change, because let go or be dragged, the universe is going to change whether we are there for the ride or not. Whether we are along for the ride or we are guiding the boat, or maybe we're in a boat or up a creek without a paddle, right? We always have a paddle, arguably, because it's the problem is choice. You know, you know, Mr. Anderson, why do you do it? Why do you persist? Because I choose to, right? We have to understand that the universe is full of lessons. It's full of growth. It's full of things that we need to rise to the challenge. And the universe is going to continue to throw things at us that are asking us to change and grow. So changing and growing can not only be psychological through learning different things, but it can also be spiritual in the sense that tapping into the fact that the universe is more than just this physical reality. The universe has a spiritual reality to it. I could go into the spiritual side of apologetics, I guess you could call it, although apologetics is tied with Christianity and different things like that. But before matter and energy, there must have been something else, right? And if you're practicing magic, then unless you're going off of the psychological model, then you would understand that there is a spiritual basis to literally everything. If you've ever, seen anything paranormal, or you've experienced spirits and magic and things like that, then you know that there is something more than this Upwork, home TV, bed, solid matter stuff. And we can take advantage of that. Magic is and spirituality and the way that it can help you transform your life. It's a technology that is not this laptop I'm making this video on. It's not my cell phone that I left upstairs. There we go. I threw in my little joke there. And it's a means by which we can affect the world in a way that's not, I want to make something, I make it with my hands, right? There's tons of studies on how thoughts and feelings and emotions and even talking, which is vibration, to plants helps them grow or helps them die. There's even double-blinded studies about how prayer can help people with medical situations improve to a statistically significant degree, which demonstrates that thoughts, actions, and spiritual practices can help us to move through difficulties that we have, whether they be physical, mental, spiritual, or a combination of the three. So having a regular spiritual practice where you are connecting with, I'm dumping the psychological model in this discussion, where you are connecting with something higher than you. I don't care what you want to name it. You want to name it Flying Spaghetti Monster. You want to name it Sophia. You want to name it Bob. Having a higher, a vision of a higher spiritual outlook, where you can connect with different spirits, whether they be out in nature or something that is like the all from Hermeticism or Yahweh or God, whatever. Bob, Flying Spaghetti Monster, gets you to understand that there is something else out there that you can partner with that is not just you or a handyman down the street or your partner if you have a relationship or whatever. Spirits want relationship, and it's a give and take with them. And when you start to work with them, they will lend you their aid on a spiritual level that will then help you on a physical level. Remember, as above, so below. In the Kara tradition, we have the Kaipacha, the Hanakpacha, and the Ukupacha. Ukupacha is the underworld. Kaipacha is where we are. Hanakpacha is upstairs. Got a second joke in. And when we transform our hucha and dump our negative energy into the Ukupacha, then that makes more room for the Sami or the divine energy from the Hanakpacha. And spirits from both the Ukupacha and the Hanakpacha can help us, if we partner with them and we build relationships with them, to improve our lives here, because they coexist with us, and Everybody wants relationship. Everybody wants partnership. We need friends. We need people. We need relationships. We need romance. All that good stuff. And they look at us on a different plane, and they're like, "Hey, let's build a partnership. Let's see what we can do together." And you just got to open yourself up to that. If you're interested in exploring those kinds of things, my lady and I do offer apprenticeships with working with the nature spirits and the Pachacudi Mesa tradition, with the Nustas and the Apus, and building a Pachacudi Mesa. And if you want to go super deep into spirituality and transformation, I work that through the Mesopotamian classical Chaldean of planets, through a system called the gate walking. If you are unfamiliar with that, I have tons of videos on that on this channel. But this is a bit of a spiritual knowledge lecture number 1. I might even label the video that. But let me know what you guys think about this. Drop any insight, anything that I might have touched on that you really liked, or anything that you might want me to talk about down in the comments, and I will see you next time. Good hunting.